To Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbie. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of GERCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. On this platform, we discuss authentic urban news across the diaspora. We are the Black media component of the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. If you're joining us for the first time, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube page. We encourage our listeners worldwide to engage with us by leaving a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast. Your respective contributions shape the conversation that Black America and Africa needs. I'm proud to announce that we have 1,662 people on my backup Facebook page. Now, if only everyone would step up and work with me in moving my virtual Christian organization, or CAM, from behind a computer into getting our story on the big screen, that would be a big help. And also would help put me in a better position financially. Once we get this film project fully funded and made, and the proceeds from the film starts pouring in, then I can walk into my God-given assignment. I would be able to purchase property in Chicago, buy office equipment, and hire qualified, like-minded Black middle-class professionals, and hire qualified, like-minded African immigrants within the United States to help me build the best African American business within the United States of America, and that would be the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. We would create that here in Chicago first for credibility before I turn the business over to my management team, and for me to expand it to the African continent, starting in South Africa. Disclaimer: this content is for educational and informational purpose only. It is based on publicly available reports and verified media sources. We fully comply with YouTube's community guidelines. We do not promote violence, hate, or misinformation in any form. This audio podcast is available in two forms, audio and also as a written text, in order for us to reach our audience. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, again, is our Black media component. I would like to encourage my listeners to subscribe to my Medium page, where you can follow along during my presentation. I provide my Medium transcript in the comments section below this audio podcast. I also provide the link to my backup Facebook page in the comments section as well. I created this platform, quote, Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, to give people on my Facebook page and people in my social groups on Facebook who are Black artists, African artists, such as authors, comedians, fashion designers, filmmakers, models, musicians, poets, gospel singers, spiritual leaders, as well as Black entrepreneurs and African entrepreneurs. Please make arrangements with me to come on this platform so that you can promote your book, your business, your music, or if you have a small ministry, then you can share a 30-minute sermon with my listeners from the global community. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast, YouTube channel, and website for their business or ministries. I also assist them with finding college grants and scholarships and legal services, all for free. Once I'm able to get my Christian business, Gurkai of Chicago, up and running. Then I will invite local guest speakers and my international guest speakers who came on my show when I was small time to attend our live events. Through the business, depending on our budget and sponsorship, we will help pay for their travel and hotel expenses. We will also give them a love offering for their time and talent. Those who refused to work with me when I was small time would not be part of my business because Gurkam is membership based. I created this platform in order to mobilize like minded Black Americans and like minded African immigrants within the United States of America and throughout the diaspora. GCAM is about raising the bar in Black America. There will be protocol put in place to separate ourselves from con artists, Black boule, degenerates, Democrat shields, hardened criminals, pedophiles, off code Negroes, and urban terrorists. All of the principles in my revised book is the code for Gurkha members. Those who are now a part of us, we will pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. Again, I do not operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. The sooner we get this film project fully funded and made, the sooner we can start building Gurkha of Chicago. This business is not about me. It's about Gurkha members and their families. It's about improving our communities and meeting the needs of the African American community and the African immigrant community. It's my hope that we will build this movement together, both like minded Black Americans and like minded African immigrants. A movement that will not put politics over our interests, a movement that refuses to let the same insiders who have done nothing for decades keep holding power without accountability. We are nonpartisan, we're independent, and we're not affiliated with anyone. We are M1, meaning we are melanated first. Our focus is on solving Black issues at the community level. I will never forget where I came from or who I'm fighting for. Let's make real change happen together. The grassroots community activist movement welcomes Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, Black artists, and African artists. Our aim is to move Gurkam from behind a computer into the African American community and provide a family friendly atmosphere rooted in a solidarity and making a positive impact within the African American community and the African immigrant community. I want to do more than just news and social commentary, but at this time, this is where I'm at. Without support, well, I'm going to say without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I am unable to do my God given assignment. I don't want to waste another 33 years trying to reach out to Black Americans who just don't care. Majority of Black Americans have become Americanized, entitled, and develop a sense of narcissist attitude. Majority of Black Chicagoans have told me on the street that they're not interested in my vision and plan. This is why I created this platform to broadcast my vision and plan beyond Chicago to those who will listen. I've been paying out of pocket for my business title since 2010. I pay the city, state, and the IRS. This is why I have to make this docudrama in order to reach the Black masses and the Black world. And again, the ball is in your court, the Black grassroots, as well as the global African family. The ball is in your court. There's nothing more I can do. You're neither going to work with me or not. Our children's their future is at stake here. God is my witness. Um, the white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying my revised book. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from patronizing my virtual store. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from donating to my film project. That's a personal choice. That's Willie Lynch in real time, ladies and gentlemen. My film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group, Black Americans, before I cut and run to Africa. We got to get it started here in Chicago first. If I'm unable to do that, then I cannot come to Africa. So that's how come I'm reaching out to African immigrants to help speed up this process. This how come I'm also reaching out to the global African family to help speed up this process. So I can replicate the business from America to the African continent. This is why I'm reaching out to African immigrants within the United States of America from 10 African nations. They are as follows: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. I understand you all are here to live your American dreams, but I need your help. I'm trying to build the best African American business within the United States, but I have little to no support from the same people I'm trying to help, Black Americans. It's a shame, um, and it's unacceptable. This is spiritual warfare, ladies and gentlemen, in real time. The reason why you are able to reach your American dream is because of my ancestors who fought and died during the civil rights era to help get African immigrants and Afro Caribbeans to come to this country. Don't take my word for it. Do the research about immigration, American immigration, and also look up civil rights. Because truth be told, the white supremacist financial elites only wanted European immigrants here, no one else. I also encourage the global African family who reside in Canada, Europe, the Caribbean, Latin America, and on the African continent. If you're able, please purchase my revised book and read my story, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, second edition. It's available on Amazon in two forms, as an ebook for $9.99 or as a softcover book for $15 plus shipping and handling. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then you will automatically become a GERCAM member. GERCAM members are the ones who I will hire to help me build Gurkai of Chicago and manage the business while I travel to South Africa and expand my Christian business on the African continent. I provide my Amazon author page in the comment section below this audio podcast. I would love to speak with those of you who have read my story. Just make arrangements with me to come on this platform so we can talk about it and encourage others to not only buy the book, but to also get involved with our film project. Quote, Hood Liberator Made in Chicago, The War Against Willie Lynch Begins. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaign either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. Our aim is to raise $250,000. We are using crowdfunding so that everybody would know where the money will be going. We have our GoFundMe page and our PayPal Giving Fund page. If you are a U.S. citizen, then I recommend that you donate through our PayPal Giving Fund page because you can use that as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith-based and community advocacy organization. Upcoming events, Monday, June 9th, we have Pastor Carl Jonita from Kenya. Wednesday, June 11th, we have Pastor Blessing from Nigeria. Thursday, June 12th, we have Prophetess Precious Loreto from Botswana. Saturday, June 14th, we have Pastor Rosalind Adams from Nigeria. Wednesday, June 18th, we have Prophetess Fire from Ghana. And Saturday, June 21st, we have Pastor Faith from Nigeria. June is the month of liberation, starting in Black Chicago. The grassroots community activist movement is kicking off Black Liberation Month with celebrating unity, culture, and healing. It's our hope to eventually host live events to promote our Black artists, African artists, such as authors, poets, musicians, and our Black entrepreneurs and African entrepreneurs. We will have live music, food, vendors, and meaningful connections. That's in the future. But right now, like I say, until I'm able to get this film project fully funded and made, I'm online. I want to do more, but due to finances, this is where I'm at. I'm not gonna just sit around twiddling my thumbs, you know. Anyway, please mark your calendar for Thursday, June 19th. It's also called Juneteenth. We're hosting a Zoom Live. I would like to encourage everyone on my Facebook page and everyone in my social groups and all of the social media sites I am on, such as Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and X, to watch this documentary entitled, quote, Surviving Lake Lanier documentary, unquote. I have posted the YouTube video on my page, and also I sent that out to some of you that's on my Facebook friends list. So you have that. Um, so now I would like for you to watch it when you get a chance, and let's talk about the history of Lake Lanier and the forgotten black town called Oscarville, a once thriving black community until 1912 when a racial conflict occurred. Lake Lanier was also a burial ground for Cherokee Native Americans. If you don't have an issue about being on camera, then send me your email address to my backup Facebook page inbox, and I will send you information on how to get on the panel for our um, webinar. Where Zoom/Facebook Live time 2 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK Time. Also, please mark your calendar for our next monthly virtual interactive conference, which will be Saturday, June 28th, 2025. Join us in this virtual interactive conference. Everyone on my Facebook backup page, everyone in my social groups, and all other social media sites that I am on, such as Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and X, are welcome. On this platform, we're genuine, sincere, transparent, and authentic. I would be looking for 5 or more people to be on the panel so that we can discuss the topic. If you are serious about being on the panel, then please send me your email address to my Facebook backup page inbox. Then I will email you the link to get on the show. Once I finish my presentation, then I will open up the show for Q&A. This is called Side B. I prefer to see you on camera first to make sure that no one is trolling. This event will help expand your network, enhance your profile visibility, and make more meaningful connection with the global community. Theme, quote, Gracam versus Pan-Africanism. Which path will lead to Black economic empowerment? Where? Zoom/Facebook Live time, 2 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 8 p.m. West African Time, 9 p.m. South African Time, 10 p.m. East African Time, and 8 p.m. UK Time. Title of this presentation: Trump pardons former gang leader Larry Hoover. What does this mean for Black Chicago? Trump commute a federal sentence of Larry Hoover, the former gang leader of Chicago's street gang gangster disciples. If Trump was able to do this, then why Obama didn't do it? Many people thought that he was going to come home. Not necessarily. Family, we got to understand Larry Hoover had a federal sentence and there's also a state sentence. He was charged for a murder, I believe, back in 1974, and that sentence carried a 200-year sentence. Even though Trump has commuted the federal sentence, there's also a state sentence that the Illinois governor, J.B. Prisker, has to, look over and decide if he's going to pardon him. I don't think he's going to do that, but we will see. He's more of a political prisoner at this point. Trump also pardoned the NBA young boy. Some people believe this is a political chess move for a pardon for Derek Chauvin, the officer who murdered George Floyd. Derek Chauvin also has a state sentence too. Even if he got a federal pardon from Trump, he still faces a state conviction in Minnesota. Trump could gain street credibility with certain black voters by giving a pardon to Larry Hoover and NBA Youngboy. This could also be a tactic used to deflect criticism of the January 6th insurrection and Trump pardoning these guys. It seems like a good political strategy to deflect accusations of racial favoritism toward white extremists. It sends a signal to people who reside in urban areas that Trump is someone who is listening to the streets so that undermines these Democrat shields. Some of these Democrat prosecutors were throwing brothers and sisters in prison during the crack epidemic in the 80s and 90s, which gave rise to mass incarceration. The Trump administration may be trying to win over the black male demographic. That's a way to signal establishment and basically exploit the dissatisfaction that many people have about these Democrats. You feel me? Trump understands the power of symbolism. It really has no impact on Hoover's imprisonment. They have to rewrite the narrative around crime and redemption. So adding Larry Hoover, NBA Youngboy, and the January Sixers, all of them in the same pardon discussion, Trump could rebrand the United States criminal justice system and say it's less about race and more about the power to forgive. Some people may view this as he's using the pardons to gaslight critics and basically disarm his critics. I need to address a few things. Some of you may not like what I have to say, but I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Let's deal with the pardon at the federal level, which is a symbolic political gesture by President Trump. Now it's up to Governor J.P. Prisker of Illinois to pardon him at the state level in order for him to be released from prison because as far as the feds are concerned, he's been committed there, but the state still has charges unless Governor J.P. Prisker pardon him. Then he can return home. Family, what you need to understand is that our freedom was won by us, by Black organizations like the Civil Rights Movement, Deacons for Defense and Justice, and the Black Panther Party. The biggest gangsters on the planet is the US government. Just look at their track record with Black Americans. J. Edgar Hoover used COINTELPRO tactics to bring down the Black Panther Party. COINTELPRO derived from Counterintelligence Program, which was a series of covert and illegal projects conducted between 1956 and 1971 by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigations, which is known as the FBI, aimed at they aimed at su- surveilling, infiltrating, discrediting, and disrupting American political organizations that the FBI perceived as subversive. Groups and individuals targeted by the FBI included feminist organizations, the Communist Party USA, anti-Vietnam War organizers, activists in the civil rights and Black Power movements, and of course, that falls under the Black Panther Party. The white supremacist financial elites. I talk about this in my revised book. So again, this is why it's very important that my listeners that you read my story, you know, and embrace, what I'm saying in there. The white supremacist financial elites decided to allow upper class and middle class Black Americans to integrate to the white suburbs after the civil rights era. And they did that in order to divide us based on social class. So they got rid of our professional people. And so only ones that were left were the working poor and the so-called underclass. They were the only ones left in the ghettos. This made the African American community vulnerable because we lost our role models, our economic base, and our family structure. Because the white supremacist financial elites, they decided to declare war on the Black family using code words like the war on poverty and the war on drugs. Um, and so, with the welfare situation, they was telling Black women, well, if you want to receive welfare, um, can't no man be living in the household with you. And at the same time, um, when I'm going to say a lot of these manufacturing jobs in the in the urban areas, the white supremacist financial elites decided to use something called NAFTA, which is supposed to stand for the North American um, Fair Trade Agreement. So basically, they just wanted cheaper, cheaper labor force. So they outsource, all the major manufacturing companies. I know here in Chicago, I know in Detroit, those two definitely. But anyhow, they went to Mexico and China for cheaper labor, basically. And so that put a lot of our brothers out of work, And these are the kind of people that we're dealing with because they write the rules, they control the laws. A lot of Black Americans don't understand this, but the foundation of America is anti-Black racism. That was before the U.S. Constitution was created. We have to understand that, and that's what we're up against. And so it is what it is. Um, all right, so this made the African American community vulnerable because we lost our role models, our economic base, and our family structure. And they use economic warfare to encourage Black mothers to remove Black men from the household. They also flooded our communities with guns, drugs, and liquor stores, which I call, in my revised book, perfect genocide, both physical and political. This gave rise to Black gangs across the inner cities in America. Now, when it comes down to Black gangs in the beginning, I would say they tried to, I'm going to say, the second migration of Black Americans leaving the South to going to northern cities in order that was to get away from all the violence from the Klan and all that stuff down south. And so the second migration, that was more Black people coming into the I'm gonna say coming north, going even out west to California. So basically, it caused some racial tensions when that happened. But when they arrived, I would say it was white gangs would attack, the Black residents. So that's how come, Black gangs, was formed to fight against the white gangs attacking Black residents. So I agree with what some of my friend peers used to tell me that was gang members. They told me that the gangs in the beginning was to help protect the community. So yes, I agree. But when the drugs came in, and that's when things got out of hand, and those things changed. They ended up terrorizing the community, and this is why a lot of people that lives in the inner cities, you don't see a lot of Black businesses because you know they don't want to be getting robbed, and also people don't want to be shot down like an animal. That's not cool. So that's why it's very important. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to bring my business here in Chicago before I cut and run. And like I say, it doesn't matter what city I go to in the United States of America, it's going to be the same problems. Um, drugs, guns, gangs, um, failing schools, inadequate health care, inadequate housing in the low income African American community. I want to serve, Kai want to serve both the low income African American community and the working class community. That's how come we're going to have a for-profit business as well as a nonprofit type of business, because I want to cater to both, social class. And hey, I mean, I have to make a living too, you know what I'm saying? So that's how come I say for our for-profit business, we're going to own and control our own community grocery store, community healthcare clinic, and community housing. Because food and food and shelter, that's gonna never go out of style. People always gonna need that, and that's where I'm gonna make my bread and butter. But again, I want to have my management team in place so that way this business can be effective and successful without me being present. Because I want to bring this thing over to, the African continent. 33 years behind schedule because of this slave mentality within Black America. But I'm declaring war on that mess. That's why it's important that we get this film project fully funded and made so people can see my story on the big screen. Since they don't want to read the book, it is what it is. Um, so when you are white, the white supremacist financial elites make sure that their institutions are well funded, you know what I'm saying? And their support systems are in place. So that's what I'm trying to do for um my members, the CAM members. I want to make sure we have our support systems in place in terms of helping strengthen the Black family, have quality programs and services that will help them succeed uh, in life. And also, we're going to have a second chance program for ex offenders for nonviolent crimes, former gang members, because we want to reach out to street people. Um, although I'm from the hood, but I'm not from the street, but I am streetwise. I did 2 years of street ministry, so I'm just saying I have that under my belt. Um, and basically, I want to just put everything out on the table, let people know that hey, this is real, and we're raising the bar. I don't shuck and jive. Um, I'm not running for public office. I'm just trying to do my God-given assignment so I can move to the next level. And that's to bring this business over to the African continent. Um, White Americans get preferable treatment for venture capital. After all, it's their system, white supremacy. So you can't get mad at that. So what are I would say what are people that's being, I would say, disenfranchised by white supremacy in terms of redlining, urban gentrification, eminent domain, all of those things, it's legal because they created the system, but the system is biased. And as long as Black Americans remain in America, we will be treated as third and fourth class citizens. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. I don't like it. That's why I'm trying to get the business up and running so I can turn it over and I can leave. But I can't leave if I don't have support for it from the Black community. It is what it is. So I got to sit up here and suffer. But yes, I do want to leave, but that doesn't mean I want to disown my American citizenship because it was my ancestors that helped build this country. I'm just saying I don't want to live the rest of my life in America. I just want to get the business up and running and let the Black world know all this unnecessary drama I had to go through just to get it up and running in the Black community. That's not cool at all. And I want to make sure my members understand this because I don't want them to have to go through this. That's why it's going to be membership based. I need like minded people that's going to be on the same page with me that's down with what I'm saying. Bottom line. Um, we lack an anti-Black hate crime bill. Nobody's protecting us, so that's not good. It is what it is. Asians, they got a anti-Asian hate crime bill, and they haven't been in this country as long as Black Americans. And they was only going through some things for a couple, I would say, what, a couple of months, a few months. So I'm just saying all these double standards and just ridiculous. This is why my Christian business is needed. We want to serve Black families that are trapped in American ghettos in Chicago and those families that want more out of life. Because again, we're only working with those families that want more out of life, that want our services. You know, we want to make it easy for our Black youth to get out of the street life, and we will offer them associate's degree and vocational training. to help give them the skills to pay their bills. Um, the white supremacist financial elites have been importing Asians, Arabs, and illegal immigrants in our communities and neighborhoods, yet refuse to grant us business loans. This is systematic racism, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what we're up against as Black Americans. Black Americans are who are put in dire circumstances create a Black economy to earn a living, but it's used as an entrapment for the school to prison pipeline. The rules are used for people who aren't put in impossible conditions. Those are the rules for the people who don't have handicaps uh, hampering them. These white supremacist financial elites created all these disparities and inequalities to keep poor Black Americans out of the American dream. You don't get to sit up here and tell people that you're going to lock them up for getting trapped by your system you created against them. You don't want them in the streets selling drugs or committing other crimes, then allow Black Americans to open up a legitimate business by granting us access to business loans. Nobody ever gave Eric Wright, aka Easy E, nothing. He had to do street work. And even though I just want to say I'm against that because that's not cool. It's not cool at all. Breaking in somebody's home, stealing somebody's car just because you don't have money. You know what I'm saying? If you join my organization, you have clean hands if you come correct, sign that community pledge, pass our criminal background check, and submit your thumbprint to be placed in our database, we'll work with you. We'll help you attain your life goals just long as it's legal. Because over here, we're about legal. You don't have to run from the cops because we're legal. We're going to teach our youth about being involved in our Black empowerment films. We'll give them a stipend. We want to promote the best Black culture. Kind of all this degeneracy. It's not cool at all. Yes, there's some of our people like that that's in our culture, but that don't mean that we have to embrace that. And I keep running across, I'm gonna say twisted brothers and twisted sisters that's saying that I'm judgmental. I have standards, you know what I'm saying? And just because I don't want to fool or be around people that don't have any ambition in life, that doesn't mean that I'm saying I'm better than them. I just don't want to waste time with them. Those are time wasters. I want to work with people that want more, that have the same kind of drive that I have. That's why I'm saying I want to connect with other like-minded Black Americans, like-minded African immigrants. That's all. And get this business up and running so it could be a blessing for not for people here in the city of Chicago, but in other cities as well. I hope it will expand, just like I say, it will expand just like McDonald's. But I just have to keep pushing it. And also, if I was just trying to get rich, I would have written many books. I've only written one book, okay? So again, I just want to connect with people that's going to be on the up and up, just like me, and for us to do the best that we can through this business. That's all. And that's why I want it to be international, so that way we can do international trade with our brothers and sisters on the continent, and we don't have to sit up here and be complaining about the white man and complaining about the government. We ain't with that. We're going to solve our own problems at the local level legally without marching and protesting in the streets. That's what I'm on. Um, so let's see. Yeah, so again, I just want to say, yeah, I'm not with that, making that's giving a person a excuse. Say, hey, because it's redlining and all those obstacles that these white supremacist financial elites imposed on us, that's going to give a person, you know, an excuse for them to do criminal activity. No, that's not cool. So I am against that. I know people do it, but hey, I stay away from those persons. I'm like, hey, you do you, and it is what it is. Um, my two brothers were not good role models for me. And I talk about that in my revised book. Um, again, I came from the black ghettos. I know what it's like, and I wanted more out of life. I did not like that environment I was in, and I said I want to do something about it. Um, I was raised in a dysfunctional family. My mom did the best that she could as a single black mom's. Um, again, my two elder brothers, they were not good role models. It was my godfather. His name was Andy Austin, which I actually dedicated my revised book to him as well as to my mom's. He warned me not to be like my brothers. One of my brothers, he was a small time drug dealer, and my older brother, he became an addict. My mom's apartment was raided, I believe, twice. My brothers put our family at risk, and I was taken out of my mom's home and placed in the state because of the environment I was raised in. I was placed in several foster homes until one incident. Um, one of my foster brothers were, trying to touch me inappropriately, and I was only 7, at the time. I just, almost, well, yeah, I did kind of. Um, all I know is that I kind of snapped and I ran into the kitchen and grabbed the biggest butcher knife I can find, and I stabbed my foster brother in his arm because I didn't want him putting his hands on me and stuff like that inappropriately. It was just a bad reaction, but still, Anyway, I was removed from the foster home and placed in a children's hospital called Prisker near the University of Chicago to be evaluated. A white lady told me during that time when I was speaking with her that I would not amount to anything and that I would end up um, probably just mopping floors for a living. And I'm like, shoot, I ain't listening to what you saying at all. That's not what I'm going to do with my life. So I rejected her opinion for trying to impose that mess on me. And I vowed to educate myself as much as possible. I ended up being placed in a children's group home called Luther Brook Children's Center, located in Addison, Illinois. They're now closed down now. But anyway, that's where I used to. I was raised there for 5 years. I was exposed to bullies and gangs, and as far as I'm going to say with that, because to learn more, please purchase my revised book and read my story. I want everybody to know what you're getting yourself involved with. I don't operate like the next black man. I'm not on here to be playing games. You know, I'm here to connect with brave and smart people. that's going to help me run this first, that's going to help me build this Christian business, because I already did all the paperwork. I just need smart people that's going to help me run this thing, and help me get behind this film project, so that way I can hire them. This is a win-win situation. I'm here to recruit brave and smart, like-minded Black Americans, brave and smart, like-minded African immigrants. Make yourself known to me. If you got the qualifications that I'm looking for, then um, connect with me. Work with me while I'm alive. Don't wait until I'm dead. Just saying. I would like to have some seed money to help fund my Christian business. So this is why I created, or this is why I wrote my revised book, in hopes of earning capital. But my book has been on Amazon now for the past 13 years and still barely selling. My virtual store, also items on there, is still barely selling. It's a shame that we have to encourage Black Americans to tell them to support Black business. That should be a given. But ever since social integration and cultural assimilation, many Black Americans have become comfortable being Americanized. As I mentioned in my revised um, book, uh, um, that's going to be the downfall of Black America. We got to confront this slave mentality head on, and that's what I want to do in my business. Global white supremacy is starting to fall apart. African nations are starting to wake up and reclaim their homeland and their God-given resources from the Western nations. For example, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. After 39 years, they finally were able to kick out the French from their nations, or kick out France's military bases. Um, from those three, and now Chad, Ivory Coast, and Senegal. They are also demanding that French military bases leave their country. RECAM is about uniting like-minded Black Americans and like-minded African immigrants for us to build a successful and effective Black institution to help our people make it in America. Because every Black American is not able to just up and leave. You're here because of you're in the Black ghettos in the first place is due to finances. So, and we want to teach our members and students um, financial literacy and all that good stuff. We want to see them succeed in life. That's what I'm about. Um, what is the point of going to a racist institution that's oppressing and discriminating against you, and working and reaching out to people that hate you? Just saying, we have to use alternative strategies to push back from white supremacy. As I said many times before, Black America has two options: either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. The reason why I did not just relocate to another city and state is because the Willie Lynch mentality is in every city and state in America. Black Americans have been marching and protesting for the past 60 years, begging the descendants of slave owners for freedom, justice, and equality. And this is how come they take us as a joke, and this is how come other I would say melanated people don't take us serious too. But they will respect us in due time. But we got to get on code. And again, all of the principles in my revised book is the code for CAM members. I tried to explain to my racial group that our black politicians are in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites. For example, the Congressional Black Caucus fight for every um, group except Black Americans. Look how disrespectful these Democrats have been towards fighting for illegal immigrants, people who don't can't vote and should not even be on the soil. Yet they give them all sorts of unearned resources like food, shelter, medical assistance in all these sanctuary cities. In contrast, when we demand our lineage based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves, they tell us they don't have money for it, insulting our intelligence. We have to build Kyle Chicago, ladies and gentlemen, for the next generation. The solution for Black America is Gurkai of Chicago, and the solution for Africa is Gurkai of Africa. And I can prove it if given a chance. Hollywood love to glamorize street life. I suggest if you're not about that life, then don't hang around active gang members, drug dealers, and hustlers because you think it's cool to be in the in crowd. Um, and it's not. I've been saying this to GERCAM members now for 3 decades. I ain't going to start switching up now. I've been a certified square all my life. I never joined a gang. I was always victimized by gangs, but hey, that's life. And it is what it is. When I was in high school, I ran across a few gang members that were good people, but they had their own reasons for being in the gang. I found an article from the Chicago Sun-Times entitled, quote, Biden commit, commutes life sentence of former gangster disciple, co-chairman Gregory Shell, unquote. Before he left the Oval Office, he committed the sentence of Gregory Shell. He was second in command under Larry Hoover, gangster's disciples. Now Trump has committed the federal sentence of Larry Hoover. Doing something for Larry Hoover does not equate to doing something for Black Americans as a collective. I'm not going to hold Larry Hoover's past against him. I forgive him as a Christian. This is going to put pressure on Governor J.B. Pritzker um, to pardon him. To me, this was a chess move by Trump to see what the Democrats are going to do. He doesn't have a problem helping and protecting illegal immigrants. The white supremacist financial elites always try to stop us from getting business loans, even when we have good credit. Imagine what Black Chicagoans could have done with that $50 million that Mayor Brandon Johnson used to help the illegal immigrants that were dumped in Black neighborhoods. We would have turned around our situation by renovating many of those vacant lots and turning them into grocery stores, hotels, and restaurants. Now, when it comes to the white community and white businesses, they get together with city planners and they throw a bunch of money into these private and public developments. They're sitting up here overfunding all these other groups, such as the illegal immigrants, giving them $50 million who are not supposed to be on the soil. The real job for these white supremacist financial elites is to create a situation where Black Americans are put so far behind that we can never catch up economically in order to force Black Americans as a collective to become a permanent underclass. And I predict by 2040, if we don't deal with this slave mentality within Black society, we will that will be the downfall of Black Americans. That'll be our fault. And again, I don't want to sit up here and say I told you so. I want to reach out to African immigrants if that's what it takes to help speed up the process and African immigrants so I can get this film project fully funded and made and uh, hire qualified people to be on my management team so that way I can turn the business over. trying to get Black Americans to understand that what we're up against. That's why I created this platform to to have these type of conversations. This platform is not for entertainment. It's for a call to action among the Black grassroots here in America and the global African family worldwide. If we lose Africa, we lose everything, and our children will remain slaves to the white supremacist financial elites worldwide. White Chicagoans did not complain when they gave money to Lincoln Yards, the White Sox stadiums, or the relocation of Soldier Field. They did not say a word about all the taxpayer dollars going to help illegal immigrants and their families. So don't say a word about our reparations. They don't like us to argue about that. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comments section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you all for listening. We greatly appreciate it. Put me on blast, ladies and gentlemen, by telling your friends to watch our content on our YouTube page. Also, I'm going to send a challenge out to everybody that's listening to this audio podcast. I need all hands on deck. It takes a team to make a dream work. So I need us to move beyond cyberspace and get our story on the big screen to let the Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for our people that's trapped in American ghettos here in Chicago. Quote, Hood Liberator made in Chicago. The war against Willie Lynch begins, unquote. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaign either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal Giving Fund page, which will help fund marketing, motion clearance, legal, and general expenses. I would like to thank everyone who have contributed or will contribute to support our film project on our GoFundMe page or on our um, PayPal Giving Fund page. If you're a U.S. citizen, then I recommend that you use our PayPal Giving Fund page as a tax write off because this is a legitimate 501c3 faith based nonprofit faith-based and community advocacy organization. You can also purchase items from our virtual store or purchase my revised book. The ebook is $9.99. The paperback is $15 plus shipping and handling. We appreciate your support. You can find all of the links below this uh, audio podcast in the comments section. Thank you all for listening to our YouTube live or the replay. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. I would like to thank all of you for listening to our audio podcast on Spotify. If you are new to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, welcome to our safe space where we discuss Black issues. We do this every week. This will conclude our audio podcast for today. We will see you on the next episode. Peace and blessings. And again, thank you all for listening. Again, this is more, for me, this is more than just a new business endeavor. Um, this is going to be the greatest, I would say, Black business within the United States, and I want to expand it to the African continent. And just want to be a blessing to CAM members. It's our time now. We're going to build the mantle, and we'll pass down that mantle. Again, I can't pass down this business to my family. Majority of my family is full of Willie Lynch. And I'm not having that because what they will do, they'll sell the business. But that's why this business will be for GERCAM members so I can pass it down to them by just doing my best to get it popping here in America first for credibility. Before I come to Africa, because when I come to Africa, I want to make sure that I'm not coming to Africa empty handed. I want to bring economic tangibles to the Kai of Africa, my members, active members, not the ones that's just on there in my group just to be seen. So if you're not, leaving comments in the comment section, if you're not sharing um, my audio podcast, with your friends, then forget it. I'm gonna let you stay behind a computer for the rest of your life. That's on you. I want to meet those of you that's serious about working with me, and I want to be a blessing to your family. But again, I need your help. Those of you that's serious. My message is not for all Black Americans. It's only for like-minded Black Americans that want more out of life. With that being said, thank you all again for your time, peace, and blessings.